I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say with the Civil War, the good thing is no matter who you're rooting for Americans. It's an important thing.
That is
That's kinda
true.
true, I guess.
I never
Don't
never thought about
forget.
that. Yeah.
Not really, but
Close enough.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm Justin, and alongside me are Eddie, Kyle, and John. And this is the Screenwrite episode where we were taking a look at Kyle's pick. What did you get picked in what
History.
category? It was history.
Yeah, history. Yep.
Yep, and you decided to go with Glory from
Yes.
1989. So, Kyle, what did you think of the movie?
Pretty fantastic. Probably the best Civil War film ever made. Mainly because it's got the action, it's got the camaraderie of all the guys. It kind of reminded me of like a Civil War version of Band of Brothers, because all these people are coming together, complete strangers, and then they're family at the very end, which I really like. And they all die heroically on the battlefield in epic fashion. So
Just like a family.
yes,
Just like a family? Is that what you said?
You'll-
Jesus.
you live in the home and you die in the home. I don't know.
I was trying to think of a Fast and Furious, like it's all in the family.
That's right.
But-
It's all about family.
So
Yeah.
can we jump in and start giving positives and negatives?
Jump in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Positives. Carrie Elwes, the guy
Yeah,
from Princess Bride.
Ellis, I think it's him.
Oh,
He
yeah.
does a good well, he was also in Hot Shots, but whatever. He does a good job. Okay. Denzel Washington,
He's a complete dick.
he's a complete dick, but he's a fantastic actor.
But he pulls
You
it
can-
off.
He
you
pulls
can
it off.
tell
It's great.
he's like super early in his career, but he's fantastic to me.
Morgan
and
Freeman.
Morgan Freeman does a fantastic job, etc. The weakest part of this movie is Matthew Broderick. He's awful. He's
I don't know.
not good
I thought
in,
he
in
did a
this
pretty
role
good
at all.
Shaw. I mean, being somebody that was 25 in real life, I'm like, he's pretty damn young.
I just think they should have flipped the roles. I think Carrie Elwes should have played Shaw, and Matthew Broderick should have played his like bumbling idiot major.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
That's what I think. I think Carrie Elwes was a better actor. I wish he had been the main character.
Well, he was more.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, Carrie was more. I don't know, loose. Like
Mm-hmm.
Broderick was just way too stiff for me. Like, and I don't know if that was, I don't know, the choice
Part of the role,
or,
I guess.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's possible. I just think that at the end of the day, the Matthew Broderick, I think he has a very limited range. Because if I think about him in this, and then I think about him in Godzilla, I can't think of a difference between the two characters. They both are stiff. They're both like bumbling, like kind of, not really smooth characters, not really smooth people in general.
Yeah.
Whereas Carrie Elwes, I think, has more range than Matthew Broderick. So I think we would have seen a better version of Shaw, quote unquote.
Well,
I don't
and
know.
Matthew Broderick seemed like he was playing Shaw as a hesitant leader,
Mhm.
not necessarily wanting, not knowing what to do. Basically,
Yeah.
he was torn with every decision. When in fact, historically, Shaw was hesitant about the command because he was afraid that it might hurt his career.
Mhm.
But he of course ended up taking it, and coming out positive after everything's said and done. But I don't think that he would have acted hesitant like that in making decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it may have been a somewhat poor character or a poor actor choice, because 3 years earlier he was Ferris.
Yeah.
You know, so he
Yeah.
was this, hey, I'm in high school, I'm going to skip school and do all this crazy stuff. Now I'm a very serious colonel. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that was, it's like a huge shift between I'm a crazy dude to I'm a very serious guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and besides the character piece, another negative that I don't like about the movie are the musical interludes that take place often.
Yeah.
Yes.
The I'm gonna stare out the window and the theme song's gonna play.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna look at the ocean and the theme song's gonna play.
I'm gonna walk
now I'm-
downstairs during a party, and the theme song's
and
gonna
the theme's
play.
and then I'm gonna look out at my men and the theme song is gonna play. Just
Well,
over.
you know
And then I'm gonna walk, and my monologue, my letters are gonna be written.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
was
forgot about the
several times.
voiceovers. What's awful
Well,
though is I still like the movie too. But go ahead, John, Kyle. Sorry.
I mean, the music pieces, I'm like, okay, this movie's like definitely wanting me to cry at this point
Mm-hmm.
because the music is sad. Everything about it is sad right now. It's like towards the end, and it's the same music piece that has been playing for the whole movie. Right? It's that.
not that
Thanks. We'll bring it into another Civil War movie. Gone with the Wind. Good job. No, it actually kind of did kind of remind me of the score from Gone with the Wind, but
A little bit, yeah.
not as like huge and grand as Gone with the Wind. It was a more subtle Gone with the Wind.
It was Gone with the budget. Yes.
Gone with the budget. Oh.
Well, I think the best scene in the entire movie is when all the black soldiers are. It's the night before their final battle, but when they're gonna go after that fort.
Oh, my Lord, Lord, Lord,
Lord, we stand before you this evening to say thank you. And we thank you, Father, for your grace and your many blessings.
I almost shed a tear when like Denzel got up there and started kind of mumbling through his prayer or whatever because he's not used to doing it. That was a really good scene. His acting really showed through to me.
Yeah.
He definitely grew as a character. I think he was the one that was just like, I'm ruthless. I'm not going to give a crap to command. To I'm going to carry this flag because it means something to me. Like to go from that range, from A to B, I'm like, wow, that's a huge character arc right there.
Yeah, it was 4 minutes well spent, which
I was about to say it was a long
that way,
scene.
but it was,
yeah, for sure. And apparently this actually won for cinematography, which I agree with. I think the cinematography was fantastic in this. Every shot was perfect. Now there was one shot that I'd noticed the shadow of the camera in the behind the scenes guys.
Oh, really?
It was when Matthew Broderick was walking on the beach in front of his men, and he was about to talk to them, and you could barely see shadow from the camera and somewhat the boom pass over his shoulder. I was like, oh, I see something.
He did the DiCaprio meme.
Yeah, I see that.
I don't know. I will say this: the cinematography in it is good. I definitely wouldn't fault it. I think that it's fine. I didn't find it exceptional, if that makes sense. Like I think it was good. I didn't hate it by any means. The music, I thought the score was actually kind of pleasant for what it was. I just didn't need to hear so much of it, and you can play it over acting scenes. You don't have to just pause everything so we can hear music. You don't have to do that.
Right.
I don't know, man. I watched this when I was a kid, probably 3 or 4 times. And I remember really liking it as a kid, but I probably haven't seen it in, Jesus, I don't know, 20 years. And
it's been a long time for me too.
It's not aging very well.
It's about halfway through, well, about a quarter, like maybe 3/4 of the way through. When they were about to go on the beach, I was like, "Oh, this is the movie that the beach scene where they all run up to the fort.
This is where they all die."
Yeah. I'm like, wow. Okay, so I remember how it ends now because there were for a little bit. I'm like, I don't know how this thing ends. Because it's been so long since I've seen it.
This is the first time I've seen the movie, actually.
No way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So fresh eyes on this. I didn't know the history either. I'm not a big Civil War buff.
Okay.
I'm more of a World War II guy. Better stories. No, I'm kidding.
Ouch.
Better records were kept, Justin.
That's the problem. That is
Yeah,
true.
no shit.
Justin, I'm just going to say with the Civil War, the good thing is no matter who you're rooting for Americans. It's an important thing.
That is
kinda
true.
I guess.
I never
Don't
thought about
forget.
that. Yeah.
Not really, but
It's close enough. Shut up, damn it.
you had the United States and the Confederate States, but
They lost. They're Americans.
So fresh eyes, and I didn't know the history. So when they were gearing up for the battle, the fort storming scene, I had no idea how it was going to end. I thought this was going to be a, like a feel good movie. These underprivileged people, they rose up, they fought for a cause, all this stuff. They were going to be victorious. Their heart and their glory and all this stuff
Yep.
prevailed and all. And then
Right.
it was like, oh, the title's at the end. More than half of them died. They failed to take the fort. No, even the backups of the
The
of the
whole
army
Union
didn't
army,
take the fort.
basically the Confederates were like, I'm getting tired of defending this fort. Let's just go.
Well, and I think, and I mean, of course, this would not make for a good movie, but I think the this whole story just I'm gonna say this just because I don't know if you guys know it, but after in real life after this battle happens, right,
Mhm.
the 54th still was fighting the equal pay issue where they're being paid $10 versus $13 because that was a real thing.
Mhm.
Right.
And the governor even said, okay, hey, look, I'll make up personally not personally, but out of my state's funding, I will make up the $3. And they're like, no, we want the United States of America, who asked us
Mhm.
to come fight,
Mhm.
to pay to pay us a fair unequal rate.
Yeah.
And ultimately they ended up succeeding in that,
Oh, interesting.
which I think that was pretty cool. But it wasn't until late 1864 that happened.
Ah,
That's
dang.
crazy.
Well, speaking of people who didn't go with pay, was all of the volunteers for the Civil War scenes, all the reenactment scenes,
Mm-hmm.
all those people, they volunteered. They didn't get paid at all. So they just came out on a field and did their thing, and camera crews shot them, and
It's like a
there it is in the
regular
movie.
weekend for them, though.
Oh, I know.
It's on the weekend. What are you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna reenact the Battle of the Fort Wagner. That's what we're gonna do today.
I'm soldier
great.
number 3B. I get shot in
it-
5 seconds.
Is anybody gonna be
Oh.
watching? No one's gonna be watching. We're just gonna do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
You know?
pretty
yeah.
much. I thought that was a pretty good, pretty neat little trivia thing. That
No,
because
it is,
it
absolutely.
did look like. Part of me was like, okay, this looks like a Civil War reenactment. Like they are trying to reenact this, but I try to get lost into the movie because it's not about the reenactment; it's about the 54th and all that kind of cool stuff. So
Yeah, but
The-
even then, I mean, I wouldn't say that the war scenes were bad. I mean,
No, the war
I would
scenes
say
were
that they
good.
were. Yeah, I would say they're on
What
par
I'm-
with anything
what I'm
Hollywood could
meaning,
put out.
yeah, what I'm meaning is the scenes where they're kind of is at the very beginning,
Mhm.
before Antietam, I think it is.
Oh yeah, no, it straight up looks like you're looking at reenactors on the weekend.
because
Yeah.
everything, like all the tents are pretty clean.
Yeah, some
all
dudes
the
like
guns are pretty clean. Well, I mean,
It's just
this was
It's
89.
89. So he's
No
more
cell
like
phones, but
It was he's got
more like big radio.
Yeah, the
Back then.
Motorola's,
Yeah,
big ass
but
Motorola
yeah,
handset.
everything just looked very, very clean, which that's typically what reenactments look like. I mean, I went to a reenactment whenever I lived in Tennessee.
Mhm.
I lived probably about 2 miles north of Stones River Battlefield in north of Murfreesboro. I actually found a Union belt buckle that was in my backyard, but it's all like bent and all that kind of crap. But yeah, I've always been super thrilled about Civil War stuff. I think the history is fantastic, and I mean this movie definitely hit all the marks for me for Civil War stuff.
The most historically accurate scene in the movie was the burning of that small town.
Tell your men to set torches and prepare to fire the buildings.
I will not.
That is an order. You will do it, or you will be brought up on charges for disobeying your superior officer.
It is an immoral order, and by articles of war, I am not bound to obey it.
Well, you can just explain that at your court-martial. After your men are placed under my command.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
curious if that really happened.
That did really happen. That was the most historically accurate part of the movie.
Okay, because
That's
I was
why I
gonna
hate Jayhawkers.
I was going to mention that was my other favorite scene in the movie. because I really was wanting to know where his allegiance lied at that question of him. Is he going to go with command, even though he said it's an immoral order, or is he going to align with his soldiers? And I was actually surprised by the decision that he made in it. I didn't see that coming.
If he fought it,
Yeah.
his reputation would have taken a hit depending on which way the war ended.
Yeah,
Yes.
and reputation was huge back then. I mean,
Yep.
especially in his stature. I mean, he's got a very well-to-do family, and
Yeah, he doesn't want to put a black eye on his family name, you know.
yeah, he doesn't want to disrespect his
So-
family, and he doesn't want to run his family through the mud.
This is true.
So
So Kyle, this was your
Yes.
movie. What are you going to score Glory from
this
1989?
movie is damn high. It's probably going to be about a 9.3 for me.
John?
I liked it. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I didn't love it as much as Kyle. I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
I don't typically give decimals, but I'm torn, so I'm going to give it a 7.8. So Eddie?
Okay, so for me, Glory is a 6.5.
So that means Glory from 1989 gets a 7.5 average score. So that's it for our Glory episode from 1989. If you are a Patreon member, you got to see a spin for the next week's episode. If you're not a Patreon member, I implore you to go check out our Patreon page, because you don't get just the 20-minute episode that you hear on the podcast or you see on YouTube. You get basically a full hour's worth of discussion, sometimes longer, about the movie and random stuff and all that stuff, plus some other perks. So go check that out. But if you are a Patreon member and you saw a spin, I was the only one left for this month. Unfortunately for everybody, I got wild card. So I
Which
chose,
means you get to pick anything you want.
which means I get to
right?
pick any movie from any category I want, which
Yes.
is it's the one that Eddie always wants. So I'm glad to take it away from him. So technically I get 2 wins this month. 1, I get to take wild card away from Eddie, and 2, I get to make him watch Theodore Rex from 1995.
I hate you.
It's
It's
gonna be fun.
it looks like a terrible ass movie. That's all I can say about it.
I know I'm gonna be punished having to watch it, but I'm excited about it.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Yep. So grab some beers and watch Theodore Rex with us, and we will see you back here next Saturday.